Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a film that sounds like it mixes that kind of deep fear with maybe a twisted sense of humor. It's called Coyotes.
That's right.
It's hitting theaters soon, and, well, if you're picturing the cartoon kind of coyote, you need to adjust that image sharply.
Yeah, definitely. We've actually had a chance to get an early look at this. Insights from the director, Colin Minihan, some plot details. What makes it tick, really?
Okay.
And our mission today, pretty much, is to unpack all that. Give you a solid preview of Coyotes, why it feels different, maybe why it should be on your radar. Because we're talking a family isolated in the Hollywood Hills and facing, get this, a bloodthirsty canine death cult.
A what now? A canine death cult.
That's the phrase from the source material. It's
Yeah.
bold. Let's get into it.
Okay, yeah, let's jump right in. The core idea, it's labeled comedy horror, right? Family fighting coyotes. But that death cult thing, that changes things immediately, doesn't it?
Feel completely. It's not just, Jaws with coyotes or Cujo. That description, bloodthirsty canine death cult, that's what grabbed me instantly.
Yeah.
It suggests something way beyond just animal instinct. Cult implies organization, intent, maybe even something darkly ritualistic.
So like intelligent malice, not just hungry animals.
Exactly. It makes you question everything. Are these just animals? Is it supernatural? Is there like a leader, an agenda? It moves it from simple survival horror into something weirder, more sinister maybe.
Definitely weirder. And that tagline they're using, welcome to the apex of the food chain, it's going badly. I mean, that's got some serious bite, pardon the pun.
Yeah, it does.
It tells you right away there's humor here, but it's dark humor. Like, it's acknowledging the absurdity while still being terrifying.
Precisely. It's poking fun at our own place, at the top of the food chain, or where we think we are.
Right.
The film seems ready to just flip that completely upside down and maybe laugh while doing it. That cult element just adds this whole other layer. It's not just survival. It's survival against, well, an ideology almost. A really, really primal one.
So who's caught in the middle of this canine chaos?
It's the Stewart family. Scott and Liv, played by Justin Long and Kate Bosworth, who are actually married in real life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And their daughter Chloe, played by Mila Harris.
Okay, having a real couple play a couple in that kind of extreme situation, that could bring a certain authenticity to it, couldn't it? Like real chemistry under fire.
I think so. It could be really effective. That built-in intimacy, the shorthand they might have, could make their fear and their fight to protect each other feel incredibly real. It might ground the performances, make them more nuanced than your typical horror movie family. You might really feel that connection, which makes the stakes feel higher.
And where are they? You said Hollywood Hills? But it sounds like Paradise Lost.
Pretty much. They're in this house, but a massive Santa Ana windstorm hits, knocks out the power, disables their car.
And crucially, no cell service, right?
Zero. Totally cut off, which, forces that question. What do you actually do when all the modern tech fails? How do you even signal for help?
It really makes you think about how dependent we are.
Absolutely. The environment itself is a huge threat. The winds, the fire danger they bring.
Right.
It's not just background noise.
Right.
And then the coyotes. They don't just show up sniffing around. The sources say the pack attacks and eats the neighbors first.
Oh, okay. So establishing the threat level immediately.
Brutal.
Yeah, very brutal. And methodical. It sets the tone. And then they surround the Stewart house. And on top of that, there are wildfires spreading nearby.
So literally trapped. Fire on one side, death cult coyotes on the other. Talk about pressure. It's an escalation of threats from all angles: natural disaster, infrastructure failure, and this organized animal menace.
And what do they have to fight back with? Please tell me it's more than just, like, kitchen knives.
Get this. According to the description, an old iPad, a flashlight, and, quote, just enough spam to cause a riot.
Spam! Seriously?
Apparently. The sheer absurdity of that, right?
Yeah.
Facing down a canine death cult with processed meat. That's where the dark comedy really seems to kick in.
It highlights how unprepared you'd be. An iPad and spam against that. It's bleakly funny.
It really is. It's almost poking fun at those survival shows, maybe. Like, what good are your gadgets now?
Okay, so who's the director putting all this madness together?
That would be Colin Minihan. And he's got some serious horror cred. He did What Keeps You Alive.
Oh, yeah, that was intense. Very unsettling.
Right. And he co-created Grave Encounters, the found footage one.
Ah, okay. So he knows how to build dread and deliver scares.
Definitely. He understands tension, claustrophobia, psychological horror. But what's really interesting here is his personal connection. Yeah, he apparently said that when he first read the script, he was actually living in the Hollywood Hills And real coyotes were stalking his old dog.
No way! Seriously?
Yeah. He said, and this is a direct quote, "Every night felt like a horror movie."
Wow. Okay, so he wasn't just directing a concept, he was kind of living a version of it. That must have resonated.
You'd have to think so, right?
Yeah.
It gives him this visceral understanding of that specific fear. But then he also said his first reaction to reading the script was that he started laughing out loud.
Laughing at the horror.
Yeah. He said it had bite, chaos, and most importantly, fun. And his final verdict was, quote, "Okay, this is fing nuts."
Okay, that quote kind of says it all, doesn't it? He gets the blend, he sees the terror and the wild fun in it.
Exactly. It suggests he's embracing the absurdity, the over-the-top nature, while still grounding it, maybe, in that real fear he experienced. It's a tricky balance, horror and comedy.
Yeah, it can go wrong easily.
For sure. But his background, plus that personal angle, makes you think he might just pull it off. He understands the fear, but he also sees the fun in the chaos.
And what did he say about the actors? You mentioned Justin Long and Kate Bosworth.
Yeah, he had really high praise. He apparently thinks this is Justin Long's best performance since Barbarian.
Whoa, okay, Barbarian, that's a high bar. Long was fantastic in that. Really shifted perceptions.
Exactly. So for Minihan to say he surpasses that here, it implies something pretty special.
Yeah.
Intense, maybe funny, probably terrifying given the context.
Yeah, suggests a lot of range needed for the role.
Totally. And he said Kate Bosworth was completely dialed in, which, again, with them being a real couple playing this terrified couple.
Pretty electric. Yeah.
Right. That real connection could make their fight for survival feel incredibly raw and believable.
And who else is in the cast? Any other familiar faces?
Yeah, a few. Brittany Allen is in it. She was also in What Keeps You Alive, so she's worked with Minihan before.
Okay, good chemistry there, probably.
Presumably. Also, Catherine McNamara from Shadowhunters, and Norbert Leo Butz, who's a great character actor.
So a solid supporting cast, too.
Seems like it,
Yeah.
which you need, right? For a film balancing scares and laughs like this, you need actors who can really nail both tones, sometimes maybe in the same scene.
Yeah, definitely. They need to sell the terror, but also land the spam jokes, maybe.
Pretty much. They need that versatility to make the whole wild premise work.
Okay, so let's recap the key takeaways here. Coyotes is not your standard creature feature.
Not at all.
It's a horror comedy from director Colin Minihan, who had his own run-ins with coyotes. Stars Justin Long and Kate Bosworth as a couple trapped in the Hollywood Hills during a storm and wildfires.
Right, completely isolated.
Facing off against, and this is the key part, a bloodthirsty canine death cult.
Armed with an iPad, a flashlight, and spam.
And spam. Can't forget the spam. It sounds unique. Definitely unique.
And if this sounds intriguing, it's premiering soon. Fantastic Fest on September 20th is the first look. Then it gets its general theatrical release on October 3rd. So not long to wait.
You know, think about this whole thing. It really makes you wonder, what does it take to survive when, like, nature itself, but an organized, weird version of nature decides you're done? And how much fun, like the director said, can you actually find in that kind of life or death surrounded by a cult scenario? It really messes with that whole apex predator idea we have about ourselves.
Yeah, it flips the script completely. What happens when the things we dismiss suddenly get organized and hungry? So we've laid out the pieces from the sources on Coyotes, the premise, the director's vision, the cast. Now it's really up to you to decide if you're ready for, well, the apex of the food chain going badly.
Yeah.
We definitely encourage you to check it out if it sounds like your kind of thing. See for yourself what happens when horror meets comedy meets, well, a canine death cult. It promises to be memorable one way or another.